State College today and learn how to beat the job market trap.
American Journal, afternoons at 3:30 on TV 33.
Good afternoon. I'm David Moore in the 33 Outdoor Weather Center. Let's go right to Super Doppler radar. We are seeing some pretty good shower activity around the area. Moisture from what was Dean and now Aaron will start to move into the area as we get into tomorrow. This has created some small stream and urban flooding advisories. Possibility here for southern Noble, southern DeKalb, northern Allen, and Whitley counties. Possibility of some urban flooding. Flash flood watch in effect for Williams, Defiance, Paulding, Van Wert counties through tonight. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. Try and stay dry.
So why is one boy getting his driver's license and the other at a county fair? A current affair is next.
The crime was vicious, the punishment unusual. Two teenagers banished by their tribe to remote Alaskan islands.
At least we're giving them a chance to try and prove that the banishment can work.
But is the punishment fitting the crime, or are these young thugs laughing at the law?
I don't think that's what the judge here had in mind, that when he thought of banishment, that doesn't mean going into town for a driver's license.
They came to America in search of freedom and a dream, but what they became were prisoners in a living hell.
These employees would work from 7 a.m. till midnight, and if they didn't get the work done, they would have to work until 2, and they were making about $1.60 an hour.
Today, made in America, slaves in the land of the free.
This film challenges you to look into the eyes of the condemned.
It's a top-selling video in Britain, but are we ready for it here?
I don't believe that the video store should have the right to censor what the American people want to see.
It's so repulsive and so obviously sensationalistic and exploitive.
Is it truly a documentary, or is it simply turning death into dollars?
I don't feel very good about it.
Munchkin Cats, a new breed that's starting a massive cat fight.
I was so intrigued about the possibility of a kitten that would stay small all of its life.
Hello and welcome to A Current Affair. I'm Penny Daniels. We don't think much about where our clothes come from, but authorities in Southern California found a slave labor camp where people worked around the clock to make clothes that we buy from major department stores. We'll have details in a moment. But first, it's a story that captured national headlines. Two Native American teenagers were convicted of a vicious attack. Instead of going straight to prison, the boys were banished to separate islands in Alaska. Each boy was supposed to stay on his island for a year and a half. But recently, they've been spotted back in town. David Lee Miller reports.
Thousands of these uninhabited islands dot the southeastern coast of Alaska. They may look beautiful, but with extreme temperatures and harsh landscape, it's the last place anyone would want to live, especially alone. But that's where these two Native American boys were banished to after being convicted of a brutal robbery a year ago.
They were given 2 weeks' worth of food, appropriate clothing, and some simple hand tools. And they will indeed have much chance, at least a year, to reflect on their actions.
Last August, in a unique and highly controversial move, the state of Washington postponed conventional prison sentencing for 18 months. In the meantime, they let the Tlingit tribe impose their own tribal justice first. It's called banishment, an ancient punishment they practiced for centuries. But now, 12 months later, there are reports the boys have been seen escaping from their prison with no bars. Simon Roberts and Adrian Guthrie, both 18, who grew up in a tribal community, are part of the Tlingit Nation. They were banished to separate deserted islands to fend for themselves. They were faced with finding their own food and shelter. Simon's mother had petitioned the court for banishment.
I would rather have him banished than go to prison. I would rather see my son come back whole inside and happy and changed.
Although monitored, the boys were supposed to have no contact with the outside world.
Whatever happens to the boys, the whole tribe is in shame. The whole clan is in shame until they can redeem themselves. And what chance of redemption do you have in a prison? There is none.
In 1993, Roberts and Guthrie were visiting Snohomish County in Washington State. They attacked and beat this man, Tim Whittlesey, who was delivering a pizza. They struck him with a baseball bat and fractured his skull.
The injuries that I have is I'm completely deaf in my right ear, lost between 30 and 40% of hearing in my left ear.
Roberts and Guthrie were convicted of robbery and ordered to pay restitution to Whittlesey. And even with his debilitating injuries, he supported the unusual decision of tribal rehabilitation.
At least we're giving them a chance to try and prove that the banishment can work and it could possibly be an alternative to jail time that we have.
Prosecutor Michael McGee was outraged at the judge's decision to let the Clinketts impose their tribal sentence. He fought to have the boys sent straight to jail.
There is not a traditional method of punishment by way of banishment. It simply doesn't exist.
But defense attorney Tom Cott stood firmly behind banishing the boys.
It is my sincere belief that indeed this will work, and the Klan will do what it said it will do, and everyone will be better, society, the victim, and the boys because of it.
But unfortunately, this judicial experiment of tribal justice doesn't appear to be working. The Seattle Times broke the story of how, in the last 3 months, the boys have been cited at a county fair in their hometown. And Adrian Guthrie was spotted at the local Department of Motor Vehicles, transferring ownership of a 1965 Ford Mustang and taking a written driver's test.
I don't think that's what the judge here had in mind, that when he thought of banishment, that doesn't mean going into town for a driver's license.
While there have been some legitimate reasons the boys have been in town, like medical emergencies, it has left Tim Whittlesey wondering, what is really going on?
I thought it was a little strange. I didn't think that that was important to, to get off yelling for. So far, sometimes they seem to be doing okay and learning from their time being up, and other times it sounds like just more fun than anything.
And the restitution the tribal court promised Whittlesey, such as buying him land and building him a home, still has not yet been fulfilled.
They're trying to raise money to build a duplex and hoping that I could rent out one side and live in the other and have money coming in for quite a while. But nothing's been done on that yet.
The experiment is not over yet, and the boys still have another 6 months on the island. And even though Tim Whittlesey has suffered badly, he still has words of encouragement for the boys.
This is their chance they have to rehabilitate themselves. They should take the chance while they have it.
The teens are each back on their deserted islands. They'll be in state court March of next year when a judge will decide how much prison time the boys should serve. There is much more ahead on A Current Affair. When this California apartment complex was raided, authorities found modern-day slavery, people sewing clothes in prison-like conditions, clothes we buy from well-known department stores. And later, a little black cat named Arnold is causing a feline furor.
I think cats should have legs that they can really run on.
Today's job market is more competitive than ever. And the bad news is, it's only going to get tougher. Without advanced training or schooling beyond high school, you're setting yourself up for a big fall into a dead-end job. But at Ivy Tech, you can get the training you need to start in an exciting, high-paying career. Job opportunities in fields desperately needing qualified people. So call Ivy Tech State College today and learn how to beat the job market trap.
Want high-quality furniture at the guaranteed lowest prices? You'll get that and more during the 3-day sale at Value City Furniture. Store-wide savings of up to 68% and more on the home furnishings you want most. Living rooms, $598. Bedrooms, $498. Recliners, just $98. Plus, for the next 3 days, you'll get all of this and 6 months, same as cash. So for America's best furniture values and 6 months, same as cash, it's Value City Furniture, where high quality and low prices meet.
Domino's deep dish always gets. And how was quite a reaction.
Your day, Mom.
Oh, just...
Peachy. This is one deep pizza.
Nothing deeper. It's Domino's.
Ultimate deep dish.
Real cheese, zesty herbs, all on a golden thick crust.
Woof, woof.
Domino's. Buy a 2 or more topping deep dish pizza at regular price and get any medium 1 topping pizza free. That's a free medium pizza when you order a deep dish pizza. Call now.
Each year, workers and motorists are needlessly injured and killed due to unsafe driving in road construction zones. Last year, there were over 500 accidents in road construction zones in Indiana alone. Indiana's rate of fatalities in road construction accidents is over 70% higher than the national average. These are not just statistics, but Hoosier lives. Please drive safely in construction zones.
You go to a store, you buy a shirt or a dress, and you don't think twice about it. Your clothes could be coming from a slave labor camp right here in the U.S., where people were locked up, abused, and forced to work round the clock for pennies. Janet Tamero has the story.
We're all label conscious in this country. We like nice clothes. But how many of us really worry about the people who toil to put those clothes together?
It doesn't bother me.
You know what you do? No, it won't hurt you.
If it's something I like and it's a good price, I go ahead and I get it.
You may not worry about who's making your clothes until you see behind the walls of this apartment building. It's not in a third world country. It's minutes from downtown Los Angeles in El Monte, California. In this 7-unit building, behind walls that resemble a prison, 56 people had come to this country from Thailand to find a better life. Instead, they found themselves locked up, working round the clock sewing clothing destined for major department stores. Officials say they were mostly young women.
And these employees would work from 7 a.m. till midnight, and if they didn't get the work done, they would have to work until 2, and they were making about $1.60 an hour. And some of these people never left that apartment complex for 7 years.
In spite of the fact that the apartment complex is located on a busy street and surrounded by neighbors on 3 sides, no one seemed to realize what was going on inside. But as the walls and the barbed wire went up, the people who lived on the other side grew more and more suspicious.
You see the razor wire, and then you wonder, well, you know, what is going on?
For 7 years, authorities say a ring out of Thailand lured young Thais into coming to Los Angeles. Here's what one of the women said she was told when she took what she thought was a job.
She said that the recruiter in Thailand had told her stories of very nice living conditions, wages that far exceed what she would ever earn in her livelihood in Thailand, and benefits.
You wonder why they don't get out.
Well, because they left their family there back home. They basically were threatened by the ringleaders that their families would be hurt should they say anything, should they squeal.
Authorities say 2 of the workers tried to escape a year ago and were caught and badly beaten by their captors. Another worker tried again a few months ago and made it to safety, finally tipping off authorities.
Good afternoon.
California Labor Commissioner Victoria Bradshaw began coordinating with other agencies, setting up a secret pre-dawn raid on the complex.
Well, we had been doing surveillance for 6 weeks or so, and we found that, in fact, one of the trucks would leave every morning at 5:30. And
the truck was loaded daily with garments and was headed to this factory in downtown Los Angeles. Then authorities say these clothes with recognizable labels were typically sent on to East Coast department stores. On Wednesday morning, police and labor officials blocked the truck and went into the complex. Officials were stunned by what they saw.
You know, just envision a small apartment room, and there were, you know, people just cramped, one right next to each other, sleeping on bedrolls. There was some very dangerous situations with wiring, locked doors. If there was a fire, these people could not get out.
Thai community leader Chanchinit Martorell went along on the raid to translate and broke into tears when she saw the workers.
But I was just overwhelmed because all the women there who were crouched outside the building when we escorted them out, they were just terrified and they were stunned.
Officials found $750,000 in cash inside a safe, plus receipts for hundreds of thousands more in transactions. In addition, they found labels for designer manufacturers, which included Clio, Gecko, and Anchor Blue. When contacted, these companies denied any knowledge that their designer labels, which could be counterfeit, were being produced by a sweatshop.
This was not a small operation. These were thousands and thousands and thousands of garments that were being shipped both nationally and we will assume internationally.
Neighbors who'd harbored suspicions for years were just as overwhelmed.
America's not like this. I mean, I hope they realize that it's a free country, and to be able to have to be exposed to something like this is very sad.
Very sad. 8 of the accused ringleaders were arraigned yesterday. More charges are expected. Still ahead on A Current Affair, the home video that is alarming Americans. And the cat's out of the bag, the Munchkin cat, that is.
It's the first cat that's really different that's come along in a long time.
Monday on A Current Affair, he's a walking miracle. A survivor of the atomic bomb has a message to the world.
For breaking news and stories you can't find anywhere else, turn to the leader in local news. Turn to 33 News, your 24-hour news watch. Join Linda Jackson, meteorologist Greg Schaub, and sports director Steve Rappaport, weeknights at 6 and 10 for the most comprehensive news, weather, and sports coverage in Fort Wayne. We go beyond the headlines and cover the real story. That's why more people are turning to 33 News than any other local news source. If it's important to you, turn to 33 News, Fort Wayne's first news station.
At Kittles, have a fashionable sofa by day and a comfortable bed by night, no matter what your budget, during Kittles 400 sale going on now.
Choose from a variety of quality sofa sleepers by Sealy. There are many styles, and yes, they're as comfortable as they look.
Kittles has the largest selection of sofa sleepers in Indiana, each at a guaranteed low price. Plus, during the Kittles 400, make no down payments, no interest, and no payments for 400 days.
Come into Kittles today and find the sofa sleeper of your dreams during the Kittles 400 sale.
The Apollo 13 movie, American Heroes, and we're bringing them back.
Hello, Hardee's. We are hungry. Over.
Roger. Apollo, recommend 3 Apollo combos. Over.
Roger.
2 juicy beef patties, cheese, and special sauce with booster-size fries and Coke, just $2.99. Hardee's Apollo combo.
We are go for lunch.
The biggest combo for the money on the planet.
Think they'll be back?
The taste always brings them back.
Fresh from the kitchen at Hardee's. Over.
Collect Apollo 13 Rocket and Pogs. Each stage 99 cents with any Hardee's combo.
You don't pay separately for a bike and its wheels or a shoe and its laces, so why pay one price for eyeglass frames and another for lenses? I mean, that's how most places sell them. But New Vision Opticals made it simple. Frames and lenses together for one low price. Every pair of glasses in the store from $49.95 to designers like Guess, Anne Klein, and Perry Ellis. A complete pair of glasses for one low price. New Vision Optical, where you also get UV protection at no extra charge. Any questions?
Scott's is a great company to work for. Good people, good working conditions, and good friends. Scott's, someplace you'll love to shop and someplace you'll love to work.
And I really like Scott's because of the flexible hours they offer.
Scott's Associates receive an exceptional wage package, insurance, pension plan, 401k savings plan, paid vacations and holidays, educational assistance, plus flexible hours.
Join the people pleaser team.
Scott's, we're your store.
It's in local video stores across the country, and it's a top seller in England. A video that contains nothing but executions. Is it a documentary or pure exploitation? We have edited this tape, but we must warn you, this story is disturbing. Bill McGowan reports from London.
To understand the reality of the death penalty, this film challenges you to look into the eyes of the condemned.
That's the claim made by a video called Executions. But this 55-minute tape goes much further. You actually witness countless executions. We won't show you the footage, it's just too gruesome. But we can tell you it's a compilation of beheadings, shootings by firing squads, stonings, and other sordid methods of killing.
An inmate with a larger body build will take more average to kill him.
The video, in my opinion, crosses the bounds of decency, propriety, civility.
Private Robert Manny stood before his executioners.
The tape, made by a London film company, is currently in thousands of video stores across the country. Critics say it's just senseless violence, but the producers claim it's a serious documentary on capital punishment.
It's to show people what capital punishment is all about before they can make a decision whether they're for it or against it. Well, I think they really need to see this.
There's a debate that needs to be had about the death penalty in this country. It's not going to happen with this video.
Linda Thurston is with Amnesty International. She's the director of their program to abolish the death penalty.
Those were human beings. And their deaths and the violence of their deaths and the bloodiness of their deaths is being used to sell this video. This is a documentary. This has statistics. It's fully narrated. There's only 9 minutes of actual graphic footage.
The United States is not the only home to controversy when it comes to this so-called documentary. Here in England, the video was released back in June, and within a short time, it sold over 100,000 copies. But then, a storm of protest forced 2 of England's largest video chains to pull it from the shelves. And now, the producers are hoping that the release back in the U.S. doesn't eventually meet the same fate.
If you choose to rent Executions and you want to see it, you should be able to go into your local video store, request it, and watch it.
It's a dishonest film, and I think it's a very poor means of education because it's so repulsive and so obviously sensationalistic and exploitive.
One major chain, Blockbuster Video, has already said it will not carry the film. But many mom-and-pop stores are more than happy to rent it out.
We've been putting it in the horror section for the simple reason it falls in line with what I believe is the type of a person that would want to watch something like that.
This is a button I've pushed for 4 executions in the last 4 years.
Whatever their motives are, clearly they will profit from it, and they've already gained a name for themselves, and it very well may be that that's really the only reason why they produced this film. But I guess God is their judge. I can't look into their minds.
More than 5,000 stores are currently carrying this video here in the U.S. When we come back, we lighten the mood. We've got the scoop on the cat commotion.
They shouldn't monkey with generics like they do.
Breyers has created a spectacular dessert called Viennetta. But this delicious premium ice cream with its crispy, chocolatey layers could cause one small problem. Viennetta from Breyers. One slice is never enough.
Now, for heartburn, there's 3 great-tasting Alkamins. Cherry, Tropical, and Spearmint, and each one has more medicine than Tums or Rolaids. I always knew that. Just a gut feeling. Alkamins. Feeling better fast never tasted so good.
Whereas the excitement of lunch used to be found on the outside, now it can be found on the inside. Huh? New Nabisco snack packs. Your favorites like Oreo and Ritz Bit sandwiches in perfect size packages. Designed to go everywhere kids go. New Nabisco snack packs in your cookie and cracker aisle. They're going places.
Now through Saturday, take 24 months to pay interest-free on every carpet at Carpetland USA. Save big on every carpet, every color and style. Every Plush and Berber, every major brand name featuring Anzo crush resistor nylon, fashionable fibers underfoot. Plus, take 24 months to pay. Carpet any 3 rooms for as little as $12 a month, interest-free for 2 years. Yes, take 24 months to pay, interest-free on every carpet.
Carpetland USA.
Now through Saturday, hurry!
Everyone's idea of a thrilling vacation is a little different. Hope we didn't miss anyone. Get away for a couple of days. Come celebrate 125 summers of real thrill at Cedar Point. To save up to $200, call 1-800-BEST-FUN for your free family getaway guide. 1-800-BEST-FUN.
Arnold the cat is trying to stand tall these days, but that's a little difficult. As you'll see in this report, Arnold's a munchkin. His legs are shorter than other cats, and that's causing some controversy in the cat world. In Seffner, Florida, Terry Harris breeds munchkin cats, a rare new kind of mini feline. Meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hasta la vista, baby.
Give me a kiss, Arnold.
Arnold's great-great-grandfather was a stray cat discovered in Louisiana in 1983. His descendants are called munchkins because a mutant gene makes their legs only 3 inches high. The result, a Dachshund-style feline.
I waited a long time to get my first munchkin. And I searched many years to find this breed because after I first heard about him, I was so intrigued about the possibility of a kitten that would stay small all of its life.
But now this new breed is scratching up a considerable controversy in the cat world. At the prestigious International Cat Association competition in Tallahassee, Florida, Munchkins were harshly criticized.
I think they're perpetuating a deformity. I think cats should have legs that they can really run on. Well, they shouldn't monkey with generics like they do.
In Tallahassee, even the judges were skittish about letting the mutant kitties compete.
I don't feel very good about it.
I will judge the Munchkins. I won't do it on camera. I've given you more of my opinion, really, than I care to.
Terry says introducing a new breed to judges is never easy. But she feels she's being blackballed because others are jealous of the Munchkin's success.
It's the first cat that's really different that's come along in a long time. And when people flock around my cage and pay attention to me and my cat, the people that are used to all the attention don't appreciate it.
Critics say Munchkins can't defend themselves or jump or climb trees because their little legs are too short. When we found Arnold, he was hanging in there just fine.
Come here, you little mutant sausage, you.
Much of the controversy centers on the deliberate breeding of Munchkins to capitalize on their abnormalities. When crossbred with long-legged cats, each new litter results in a mixture of regular and Munchkin-sized kittens.
This is not something that we created. This is something that was invented by God, you might say, and we've just expanded on it.
But Terry says capitalizing on mutations is part of the breeding business. Take Persians, for example. After 20 years of specialized inbreeding, flat-faced Persians are one of the most expensive cats on the market.
Yeah, I breed deformed cats every day. The more deformed they are, the better I like them.
In fact, there are lots of deformed cats on the market, some of them costing a fair bit of money. How about no hair for $2,000?
They're virtually hairless. They feel like suede or velvet.
Folded ears for $1,500.
Spontaneous mutation, and we can't track it because the first one was found in a barn in Scotland.
Even wild cats crossed with a tabby for $1,200.
He's been mixed with a domestic. He's got about 14% wild blood in it.
The bottom line is at $1,500 a Munchkin, Terry could be onto something.
I think that people that don't like these cats should mind their own business. Or, better yet, should go take care of your own cat, and I hope it's full of fleas.
Okay. If you're looking for a Munchkin cat, good luck. Terry says there are only 400 in the entire United States. Monday on A Current Affair, one man's incredible story of survival.
He's a walking miracle, a survivor of the atomic bomb. Blinded and burned, he still had the will to live. Now he has a message to the world.
That's next time. Thanks for joining us today on A Current Affair, and don't forget to tune in to A Current Affair Extra this weekend. I'm Penny Daniels. I'll see you Monday.
You like your car? Well, why not?